Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining this session. My name is Isabel, and I am an event planner for the Reactor, joining you live from Sydney, Australia. Before we begin this fantastic session, we have a quick housekeeping. We are committed to fostering a welcoming, inclusive, and supportive environment for both our audience and presenters. While we absolutely encourage engagement in the chat, please let's keep our comments respectful and constructive throughout the session. Our session is being recorded and will be available to view on demand within 24 to 48 hours right here on the Microsoft Reactor YouTube channel. Thank you all for joining us on this session of the Data Factory in Microsoft Fabric series. Today's session is called Mastering Data Movement in Microsoft Fabric with Batch, Real-Time Streaming, and Mirroring. I am excited to introduce our fantastic speakers and will now be handing over the spotlight to them, with Ye Xu being the first presenter. Take it away, Ye.
Yeah, thanks, Isabel. So hello, everyone. We are excited to be here to talk about mastering data movement in Microsoft Fabric with batch, real-time streaming, and mirroring, which covers the most popular data movement pattern in industry. And thanks Linda and Xu to work with me together for the session today. So before we get started, this slide is to make sure you have known that our session is part of the data factory in Microsoft Reactor Wave 2 session. As you can see in this slide that we have many sessions for you, that up to 32 sessions across multiple different time zones to help you to learn all the major capability, the best practice, and the latest update from the data factory and other services in Fabric. Okay, so let's get started. Uh, Next slide is a quick introduction on myself. I'm Ye Xu. I'm the product manager for Microsoft Data Integration team, and I have been working on data movement domain area for many years. So let's jump to today's content in these slides. I believe many of you may or may not hear about Microsoft Fabric, right? So basically, Microsoft Fabric is the SaaS data platform for AI transformation. So it is the only unified platform in the industry that brings together a unified data foundation that deeply integrates with data factory, data analysis, including data engineering, data warehousing, and data scientists, databases such as SQL databases and more, real-time intelligence, and Power BI. So it is built on the industry-first AI-powered data lake called OneLake with a unified governance as well. So on the next slide, I'm gonna double-click on the OneLake in the Microsoft Fabric. So as you can see in this slide that OneLake is designed as a single SaaS data lake for your entire organization. So once your data has been landed into OneLake, it's stored as an open format, data packet format. So the beauty of this format is that it can be seamlessly used across all the key workload. So no matter you are using a data factory in Fabric for data ingestion, or you are using a data warehouse in Fabric for data analysis, or using the data engineering with notebook for transformation. So so once your data have been landed there, so all the kind of workload can consume the same data. Of course, as a unified data lake, it can, has all the data lake capability, including automatically index for discovery, the MIP labels, lineage, PI scan, etc., and etc. So moving to the next slide, um, as many of you have already noticed, even from the previous slide, is that OneLake enabled seamless data access across the multiple different workload, right? This also means that you don't need to move or duplicate data between workload. You can only copy it once into OneLake and then reuse it across different workload like data factory, the real-time intelligence, data engineering, and etc. So this not only reduce the complexity and the cost, but also make it easier to share your data across the team or department within your organization. So in short, so this is the most efficient and scalable approach to unlock the full value of your data within the Microsoft Fabric system. Moving to the next slide. Um, well, I think so far, based on all the kind of previous slides, you have already seen that we have already made a super quick introduction on what is the Microsoft Fabric, what is OneLake within Fabric, and the beauty of the OneLake is moving data once and reuse it forever, right? But actually, when you really start to move your data, especially when you want to move your data at enterprise scale, it is actually not an easy thing to do at all. So for the next three slides, I'm going to illustrate some of the common pain point when you really start to move your data. So in this page, imagine folks like you who may want to move data at terabyte scale or even at petabyte scale, right? You have to worry about, hey, how I can maximize the performance of data movement or how I can reduce the cost at the same time, right? And your data to be copied could be at anywhere, right? It either behind a firewall or within a VNet. So how to get access on those data and move it in a secure way is another common pain point. You may also want something like orchestration to make sure your data movement happened in the right sequence. For example, you may want to only kick off your data movement only after your upstream data is available. And then one more orchestration challenge is that you may also want to deal with error and inconsistency, especially for your long-running data movement. Right? If something goes wrong in the midway, it can ruin the entire batch, which lead to the serious data quality issue later on. And finally, but not the least, is that you also need to take care of the credential management. So accessing your data often means you have to handle multiple different credentials across the system, and how to manage them in a secure way is another challenge you may always run into. So next slide is talking about the challenge in another data movement pattern, which you may want to move data incrementally, right? As you know that people do not always want to reload the entire data set every time, but want to incrementally copy the changes only from last time so that you can improve the efficiency of the entire data processing flow. For people who want such scenario, how to easily identify the changes from last time become one of the big challenge, right? Some people may want to rely on watermark column or last modified timestamp, which you have to carefully track and maintain to make sure only a new or updated row gonna be moved. Others may use changed capture, another technology from log or tracking system, which also bring the complexity, right? Schema change may be another challenge here. So when your sort table involved, like your column got been renamed, how you can handle that on the destination during your data movement, right? Those are very common and critical challenge for you to do the incremental copy. So next slide, the last but not the least, is talking about the challenge of real-time data movement. So imagine you are moving data within a very minimal delay. For example, within 1 minute or even just a few seconds, right? So making such a low latency requirement have already been a challenge on itself. Uh, but beyond the high demand latency and throughput, you may also have to think about the consistency, the reliability, the recovery, like how you ensure your data stay inaccurate and complete, especially when something going wrong, right? How you can recover quickly from the failure without losing data. So maintain all those kind of this in a real-time manner really adds the whole new level of the complexity. So next slide, this is where Fabric come in to solve those kind of problem. So we may start from the data factory to see how to solve the data movement challenge as mentioned just previously. On the next slide, let's start from the how data factory make it easy to access data from anywhere, right? So whether your data is located on-premise, on cloud, or within a VNet virtual network, Data Factory can always help you to ingest data from any source with more than 170 plus built-in Microsoft connector. Beyond that, we have over 1,000 custom connector built by our customer and partner using our connector SDK. For the next slide, I want to highlight that copy activity and the newer copy job have already been built to handle petabyte scale data movement for you to move your data. So you do not need to worry about how to maximize the performance of data movement, how to reduce the cost at the same time. it has already been designed for the scale efficiency and cost effectiveness behind the scenes. So what's more, copy job also simplify data movement with the building batch and incremental copy patterns. So no matter you want to do a full dataset movement or just copy the changes from last time, the logic have already been built in copy job. So no need for you to customize the tracking or the changes or complex setup. So next slide is another big thing to be shared here, right? So now we have the VNet gateway available for you to move data from data store within the virtual network environment across the board. So no matter which capability you are using to move your data, no matter you are using the pipeline in Data Factory or copy job or database mirroring, now you can securely access and move your data from any source within your private network without any manual setup. Next slide is talking about security. Uh, it's in terms of how you can easily manage the credential needed to access your data. So we are glad to announce that we have Azure Keyword integration in a snippet in Microsoft Fabric. So using that, you can centralize and govern all of your credentials in single place. It also makes the credential rotation simple and secure without, stop any of your ongoing data movement or workload. For the next slide, it's more for the people who may want to ensure that data movement happen in the right sequence or who have dependency on the upstream job completion or simply want to send notification or email once data movement task is done. So data pipeline in Fabric is the tool for you to use, right? You can orchestrate data movement activity alongside the other activity like the data transformation, the control flow, all these kind of things can be within a single unified workflow. So you can make your end-to-end data integration works. Next slide is the one more slide to introduce the data flow gen tool. So many of you may have already know the Power Query has been the pillar of our data transformation and data preparation capability in the past many years. So it provides you a low-code experience to transform your data from Excel, Power BI, Dynamic, etc. Right? On Data Factory in Fabric, you will see a very similar experience from the Power Query, but at the same time get the benefit of the scale of Fabric Compute Engine to transform a large volume of data. So this is another tool for you if you want to do an ETL from any source to any destination. So for the next, we will show you a demo on how Azure Keyword and the parameterization can be used for you to move your data, transform your data, and orchestrate data integration flow in Data Factory.
The first enterprise feature I want to highlight is securely pulling secrets directly from Azure Key Vault, making credential management seamless within Fabric. I've already set up a connection to my Key Vault, and my Azure Blob Storage connection requires an access key. Instead of hard coding it, I'll navigate to my configuration settings and click the key button next to authentication. From here, I'll simply select my Key Vault reference and secret name, and that's it. Secure seamless access is now fully integrated into Fabric, ensuring proper way of managing sensitive credentials. Now let's transition into my pipeline. This is a metadata-driven pipeline that seamlessly moves my product orders data through the medallion architecture, from bronze to gold and gold layer and OneLake at petabyte scale. A common challenge in data processing is dynamically handling different inputs. Instead of creating separate pipelines for each dataset, I can use parameterization to make my workflows fully flexible. Looking at my copy activity, I've created a parameterized connection string that allows me to set dynamic content for the path. No more static connections, and I can parameterize them effortlessly. If I open the expression builder, I can simply select my predefined parameter, and just like that, my connections are dynamic and easily configurable. Next, I've integrated a data flow activity to handle transformations. Let's open it up and see how parameterization makes it even more powerful. In this data flow, I'm transforming product orders data by grouping orders by region. My goal is to create a table in OneLake for each region. Instead of hard-coding regions, I can make this dynamic using parameters. I've defined a region parameter which dynamically filters data by the region. The default value is Eastern, so my query currently filters for Eastern orders. When I use this parameter in my orders by region query, the link icon indicates that the query dynamically adjusts based on input. Since my destination is a SQL database, region-specific tables automatically appear in my region database. Before heading back to the pipeline, I have to highlight another highly requested feature. You can now save a data flow without automatically publishing or triggering a refresh behind the scenes. Let's hit save and see how we can leverage this new parameter from within a pipeline. If I go back to my pipeline, I can configure my data flow activity, and I can see after selecting my data flow, I have a new section to input the parameters. Here, I can input my region parameter, and I'll use the expression builder to give it a parameterized value from the get metadata activity. Inside my for each loop, this pipeline will iterate over each region, dynamically processing orders from all the regions that I have. Skipping ahead, you can see my pipeline has successfully run. Checking the output, we can see each region's data was processed separately. First activity, the region was Eastern, the second is Southern, the other one is Northern, and the last one is Western. If I head to my database, I'll see 4 separate tables corresponding to product orders for each region for my tables.
Yeah, thank you for watching that demo.
The
So for the next page, so you're gonna see you have already seen multiple different capability from the data factory in Fabric to solve the data movement challenge that we mentioned before, right? But if you simply want to land data into Fabric, so let me introduce Linda to tell us what are the other way if you just want to land your data in OneLake. So Linda, go ahead.
Thanks, yeah, for the great overview. So next, we'd like to double click and talk about more for different ways to bring data into OneLake. So this is Linda. I'm the program manager working on the data integration in Microsoft Fabric. So let's start with OneLake as well. So as we shared earlier, OneLake is really the multi-cloud SaaS data lake, being the center of gravity for your enterprise data. So the easiest way to bring data into OneLake would be through the shortcut or mirroring. So both shortcuts and mirroring provides the cross-cloud or cross-environment way for you to really bring data into OneLake. So as you can see in the diagram at the bottom, you may have data sitting in Azure, sitting AWS, GCP, or different flavor of databases. With just a few clicks, very easy configuration, you can set up shortcuts and mirroring in Fabric. Shortcuts really provides a way to make the files, create links to the files, and make those visible in Fabric and be able to be consumed by different workloads on top of the OneLake. There's no data movement or data duplication in this case. Whereas mirroring can create a reflection of your database into OneLake. Behind the scene, Fabric fully manages all the data replications or the complexities to bring data from different databases into OneLake. Let's take a closer look at both options. Start with shortcuts. So sharing data through the shortcuts is very easy. We will show you a quick demo next. So with the shortcuts, you can create the pointers to different flavor of the file systems, either sitting Azure, AWS, Dataverse, or etc. And also, you can create shortcuts for different Fabric items already existing in the OneLake as well. And OneLake provides the standard APIs. So once the data is shortcut into OneLake, it can be easily consumed by the top like data engineering, data scientist, different reporting, Power BI reporting, or etc. Through the typical ways as the data just sitting inside the OneLake. So next, I'd like to show you a demo on how to create the shortcuts in the Fabric OneLake and also how to consume this. Let's play the demo.
Let's see how Microsoft Fabric can bring together data from multiple clouds into a unified data estate. We're going to start by creating a new lakehouse in OneLake within Fabric. All I have to do is give it a name, press create, and in a couple of seconds, I have an enterprise-ready lakehouse ready to go. Now we can bring data into the lakehouse by using any of the 150 connectors that we have here. But we don't want to do that in this case because we don't want to physically move the data. So instead, we're going to use shortcuts. Shortcuts allow us to link to data wherever it is and be able to query it and use it in Fabric without creating any unneeded copies of the data. For this example, we have a variety of marketing campaign assets we'd like to include in our project that are being stored in Amazon S3 buckets. We're just going to connect to the S3 bucket, point to the data we have there, and within a couple of seconds, we have it linked in our lakehouse. Now we can access all of these assets here in Fabric, and you can see some of the beaches next to our hotels that we're using in our marketing. But I also have some additional campaign assets I want to work with, and they happen to be on my desktop. To bring in these additional images, I'm just going to use Windows Explorer. You can think of OneLake like being OneDrive for your data. So just like you have OneDrive showing up in Windows Explorer, you have OneLake showing up here as well. If I browse inside of OneLake, you can see all of the workspaces that I have access to from Fabric. And I can navigate to the solution we're working with, shortcut to, in the Amazon S3 bucket. And now I can bring in my additional assets for activities we offer at our hotels, and I can just drag them and drop them into a new folder in my lakehouse. These are added into OneLake, and if I come back to my lakehouse in Fabric, you can see them already showing up. This is great, but analyzing marketing campaign assets is only a small part of the project I'm trying to build. The most important piece is getting access to the tables of data tracking our marketing performance. For this data, my organization is using Databricks with data that is also stored in Amazon S3. Here I can see the Delta directories in the S3 bucket. And again, I want to bring this data into OneLake in Fabric without making a copy of the data. So I'll create a new shortcut. All I have to do is connect, provide the settings to access those tables, and within a couple of seconds, the tables show up here in Fabric, and it is ready for me to query and use in my data solution. Now, in addition to our marketing data, I also need to bring in sales data for my solution. And in this case, our sales data is stored in Azure in ADLS. Again, I can just create a shortcut to the underlying data so I can use it without data duplication. And just like that, here in Fabric, I'm pulling together data from both Azure and Amazon with data I've loaded manually into Fabric, and it's all coming together into a single solution. And now we can start running queries across the data. Let's switch over to the data warehouse experience in Fabric, and we're going to write some SQL queries. This query is going to join data from the tables in AWS with the tables in Azure, and it just runs. And behind the scenes, Fabric is taking care of accessing the data and getting the result with what is essentially a cross-cloud query, and I didn't have to do anything extra. It just works that easy in Fabric. Now, many users don't know how to write SQL queries, so for those users, we have the ability to add semantic models right on top of my data in Fabric. Again, everything is working automatically with shortcuts, so no duplication of data is needed. And I can define relationships and measures to enrich the data to make it much easier to access for reporting analysis in Power BI. And now let's switch over to Power BI to see how we can analyze the data. Of course, since we've integrated Copilot into Power BI, I can just describe the report I'm looking for, and Copilot will look at the data model and the data we've pulled together, and then automatically create an interactive report based on my request. The report is fully interactive, and I can slice and dice the data. But remember, the data is being queried automatically using the shortcuts back to where the original data lives, with Fabric taking care of everything to access, query, and join the data behind the scenes. As you've seen, we can use shortcuts in Fabric to seamlessly bring data together from wherever it currently lives and use it all the way through my data estate to my end user applications without any unneeded data duplication.
Great. So through the demo, you can see that how easy it is to create a shortcut to your data setting in cross-environment file systems. And you can bring data into OneLake and consume that or do an additional analysis or reporting on top of that. So there's no physical movement of the data. It directly shows up and being able to be accessed inside the Microsoft Fabric. So we talk about different file systems that can be accessed through the shortcuts. What about other types of data systems? Here, I'd like to introduce the mirroring as well. So mirroring, you can use that to replicate data from different type of databases, which is near real-time latency. And behind the scene, it leverages the change the capture mechanism to bring the data over to the OneLake. And the data is replicated into the Delta packet format, so it can be performantly consumed inside the OneLake. So to look at the mirroring in Microsoft Fabric, mirrored database is a way to really reflect your entire database to bring that show up inside the OneLake. And also during the mirroring setup, you can also choose to only mirror or replicate the selective set of tables that you are interested in. So under the cover, the Fabric mirroring really handles all the complexity for you. So it not only mirror the historical data or the initial snapshot, it also keeps track the changes, insert, update, deletes happened in the source database, and keep reflecting those into the destination mirror database. So to really make the mirror database a true reflection of your source database in the Delta packet format. And also, for database mirroring, we already support Snowflake Azure SQL database mirroring as generally available, that you can directly use those. And we support Cosmos DB, Azure SQL MI, and Database Catalog as the public preview. In addition, just a few weeks earlier during the Fabric conference, we also announced the public preview for Azure Database for PostgreSQL, which is also a popular data source that we hear the customer interest in for database mirroring. So all those are currently available in the production, so you can directly try that out. In addition to different type of data sources, another very common feedback we hear from you is that to mirror the data sources behind the firewall. So for big enterprise customers, we understand that security is very important for you. So your database may sitting behind the firewall or you want to access that through the private link or static IPs or etc. So now in database mirroring, we provide option to use on-prem data gateway or VNet data gateway to access your database through a secured channel. So this option is currently supported for Snowflake and Azure SQL database as a public preview feature that you can directly use that. And also we support this for SQL MI as well as a private preview. So if you are interested in the SQL managed instance mirroring behind the firewall, you can scan the QR code or access this aka.ms link to sign up to try it out. And we'll keep enhancing these capabilities and bring it towards public preview. Besides that, I also want to introduce that we keep working on additional data sources to support mirroring. One of the very common ask or popular ask from the community is about the Oracle database mirroring. So we have the Oracle mirroring under private preview, and here is the sign up. You can scan and input your interest for us to track. And next, I'd also want to show you a demo of the Oracle database mirroring to give you more idea on how it works to replicate the Oracle data into Fabric OneLake. Let me play the demo.
Directly from my Fabric homepage, I'll go ahead and create a new item. Just as how other mirroring sources are displayed, you will now see a tile from Mirroring for Oracle show up here as well. I'll go ahead and click on it, and immediately I'll be able to either create a new connection or use an existing one. I'll create a new one. And here you'll see that I have a field to select my on-premises data gateway. I'll go ahead and select my on-premises data gateway and proceed. After a few seconds, you'll see all the tables inside my Oracle database. By default, all tables are selected, but you can choose specific ones if needed. I'll go ahead and filter my data and bring in 5 tables, and you can see a preview of the first few rows on the right-hand side. After giving my destination database a name, we'll start the replication process with a single click, and that's it. The initial snapshot may take some time, but within minutes, the Monitor tab shows a replication in progress. After refreshing, we can see all tables successfully replicated along with the details like row count, replication status, and completion timestamps. If I navigate to my SQL Analytics endpoint, I can go ahead and verify that all my data has been replicated. Customer, I can see a preview of the rows here. Now, we constantly have change data such as inserts, updates, and deletes occurring on my Oracle tables, and we want to see them propagated over into Fabric. I'll go to my Oracle database and insert 5 rows to my customers table. After running the commands and verifying that they have been added, I'll go back to Fabric and verify the changes have been replicated over. If I go back to my SQL Analytics endpoint, I can see that those rows went from 103 to 108, confirming that the rows have been replicated over.
Through the demo, you can see that how easy it is to set up a mirror database for Oracle. And this setup flow is actually common across different types of data sources that we support for mirroring. And in addition to mirroring being very simple to help you keep replicating the data from source database into Fabric OneLake, what another requirements that we hear from you is, in the medallion architecture, you may want to mirror the bronze or serial layer of data from source into Fabric, whereas subsequently, you actually want to do further data transformation or enrichment on top of that. So here's the need to really identify the changed data during the time period so as to really empower the downstream analysis to consume this mirror data. So here comes to this another feature that we are going to launch private preview very soon, is to support the delta change feed for mirrored data. So in this way, once the data is mirrored, you can still easily identify what the data change, like insert, update, delete, happened in the mirrored database. So you can consume those in the subsequent analysis, for example, using Notebook. So next, I will play another demo to showcase this capability.
So what if we want to track the exact changes to our data, whether rows were inserted, updated, or deleted? We're thrilled to announce that mirroring now publishes delta change feeds, giving you full visibility into every modification. This unlocks seamless integration with the medallion architecture, allowing you to process only the changes you need while filtering out the rest. With notebooks, you can see what changes have been made with your mirror. The first command shows the snapshot of the data, which were the initial rows that we replicated over. And in the output, it shows these rows were inserted, with the column showing what type of operation was done. In this case, an insert. Now, the second command shows the new incremental changes, which were the 5 rows that we changed. You can see in the Output tab that we did 2 inserts, 2 updates, and 1 delete. And in the table, you can see which row ID was affected, making it easier to see what change happened within your data.
For our future announcements of this change feed support in mirror database. And to recap, database mirroring in Fabric support a bunch of data sources that is already in production, and more sources coming soon, which are SQL Server 2025, Oracle, Dataverse. So we will do private previews and taking those to public previews in the upcoming months. So here's the private preview sign up for SQL Server on-prem. So for all the private preview features that we showed in the slides at the end of the session, we will show those again as well. And those you can check in the recording as needed for sign up. So in addition to SQL Server, another thing we are working on, like will be coming soon, is about the Google BigQuery mirroring. So we also hear a lot of ask about how to replicate the data from Google BigQuery into Fabric OneLake. So this is something we actively worked on as well. So we open this one up to capture the interest, and we can update you once the feature is available for preview. Last but not least about mirroring. So the mirroring is free for the storage of the replicas. So it's associated with the capacity unit you provision. The tiered storage will be free by size based on the CU you used. And all the compute powering the database mirroring are free of charge as well. So please try it out and use that to share with, also share with us your feedback using the mirroring. So in addition to shortcuts and mirroring, another way to bring data into Fabric easily is through the copy job. So copy job is a top-level item in Microsoft Fabric, which we just announced generally availability a few weeks back at Fabric conference. So copy job really help you focus on your data ingestion task to move data from a variety of sources to the destinations. So it supports a number of rich set of the data connectors, and it's growing over time as well. And also, along with the GA announcement of copy job, we added more capabilities to make it more enterprise ready to help you really move data across different systems. For example, the public API and CI/CD support, VNet data gateway support, and also we provide you more flexibility to bring data from source and write data into destination. For example, we added the upsert and overwrite support for SQL database and lakehouse tables. In addition, we keep enhancing the usability and monitoring experience based on the feedback we heard during our preview period. It increased it enabled the added copy job capability, which is a very popular ask to really help you customize your copy job. And also, we provide the search, the incremental column preview, richer in-progress monitoring view, etc., into the copy job. Next, would like to play a video of the copy job to give you more idea on how to easily set up a copy job to move data from different sources.
The first feature I want to highlight is securely pulling secrets directly from an Azure Key Vault, making credential management seamless within Fabric. I've already set up a connection to my Key Vault, and my Azure Blob Storage connection requires an access key. Instead of hard-coding it, I'll navigate to my configuration settings and click on the key button next to authentication. From here, I'll simply select my Key Vault reference and secret name, and that's it. Now we can easily manage sensitive credentials in Fabric. Now let's see how we can perform incremental data loads, allowing near real-time updates whenever there's a change. Let me show you how to enable incremental data loading with copy job. I have already created a new copy job, and I have some sales data on a SQL server behind a firewall, and I want to avoid full loads every time. I'll create a new connection to my SQL server. After entering the server name and connection name, you'll see that I have a field to select my VNet data gateway. Copy job now supports copying data behind a virtual network, so I'll go ahead and select my VNet data gateway, enter my authentication username and password, and proceed. After filling out the connection details, I'll select the database and tables I want to copy over. Then, for this example, I'll set the destination as another SQL database. For data movement, I'll choose incremental copy over batch by specifying the watermark column for each table. On the next screen, I'll see a summary, and I can also adjust the frequency of each run, and I'll change this to run every 5 minutes. Once we proceed, the copy job from my SQL server behind a firewall to the SQL database begins, with an initial snapshot of the tables copied in seconds. After that, only changes are transferred, saving both time and resources. For instance, if I go to my SQL server and insert a couple of rows to the customers table, only those 2 rows will be copied into the next run. And going back to my copy job, I can confirm that those 2 rows have been incrementally loaded in. If I want to edit the refresh rate, I can always go to settings and adjust the load rate at any time, and changes will be propagated over immediately. The first
So from the demo, you can see that how easy it is to create a copy job just in few clicks to help you really move data across from source to the destination. We support a variety of data sources already. And also the copy job not only handles the full historical load, it also do the incremental load as well and match all the complexities and do the data movement at scale behind the scene. So another related feature is under private preview is to support the native CDC. In the demo, you see that during the copy job configuration, you may choose a high watermark column to indicate the incremental data happened in the source. In addition to that option, we also natively integrate with the change data capture mechanism of the data source and provide that out of box inside the copy job. So this feature is currently under private preview, and we'd like to learn from you. If you are interested in that, please sign up here and to try it out and provide us feedback for that. So we mentioned different options to bring data into OneLake, like through the shortcut, through mirroring, through copy job. So what about other options? For example, if you want to build your own solutions to move data into OneLake. So we also provide an option called open mirroring in Fabric. So for example, if you already have some application that interact with your source system to to extract the data from that, and you want to bring data into Fabric. So for database mirroring that we showed in previous section, similar to that, we also provide the open mirroring, which is an open standard framework that you can easily integrate your application with that. So it enables you to landing data through the APIs, then the mirroring backend will keep replicating the data from that landing zone into the destination mirror database tables. And during this processing, it leverages the change data capture ways that you indicated in the landing zone format to keep reflecting the insert, update, delete data from landing zone into the destination mirror database. So it enables you to really create your customized mirroring solutions for those data sources that we don't yet support out of box in Fabric. So you can easily mirror everything from any data systems that you may have in your enterprise. And all the data will be continuously replicated and keep up to date inside the Fabric for consumption. So I will skip this demo. Sorry.
Starting right.
So for open mirrorings, we already closely collaborate with multiple partners to provide out-of-box solutions inside the Fabric or inside the public partner solutions. So here's some examples. And in our public doc, you can always find the latest partners that we already integrate with us through this open mirroring solution to help you replicate data from different type of data systems. We talk about the batch data ingestion into Fabric OneLake. Next, we'd like to also introduce to you about how to move real-time data into Fabric. I'd like to invite Xu Jiang to share more about this real-time data ingestion into Fabric. Hand it to you, Xu.
Yeah, thank you, Linda. So yeah, and Linda have talked about much about the batch data movements in previous slides, and now let's change the focus to the real-time data. So I'm Xu Jiang, product manager working in the real-time intelligence, and mainly focus on the event stream part. So let's go to the details. So as you can see here in the Microsoft Fabric, there is a real-time intelligence workload here. So it's mainly related to the streaming data and help you to achieve your end-to-end scenario for the streaming part. And if you want to move your data, processing your real-time data, then this is real-time intelligence workload does. Then let's take close look at the details about this workload. So inside the real-time ingestion, the first part is about real-time data ingestion. So which is the first part the event stream does. So inside the event stream, it's provide the out-of-box connectors, help you to connect various real-time sources like AWS Kinesis, MQTT broker you have, or the database CDC like MySQL DB CDCs. All the stream data can be brought into Fabric through the event stream. So event stream not only does the data querying, but also help you to route the data into various destinations like even house, lake house, or activator. And during the routing, it also can help you to process your data. Like you want to, for example, you want to filter out some data you don't want, or you want to manipulate your data strip. Like if you don't want a certain column, you can just get rid of it. Or you want to change the column name, I can also do help you to do that. Or you want to say calculate a certain value, for example, find the maximum value in certain windowing, then it can also help you to achieve that. So this is on-flight data processing. It's fulfill your real-time processing. So that is what ingestion does and the event stream does. So next part is analytics. You can see in the second part, analytics. So the analytics service is offered by in-house. So you can do query on petabytes of the data in your real time. It can return the results very fast. Um, and also inside the event house, you can also do like using the update policy to do the real-time data medallion architecture, because the update policy can help you to reshape your data in there as well. And next part is it's a digital twin builder, which was just launched in a few weeks back in the Fabricon. So it can help you to build an topology or model of your physical environment and have them represented in Fabric. So if there is some data flows in from your physical environment and in Fabric you can see what it looks like, and then you can monitor the physical environment for inside Fabric. So when your data, real-time data reach to Fabric, then you probably need to want to monitor it, or you probably want to use that data to build up your real-time dashboard. Here, the dashboard will help you to achieve that goal. You can create a query based on the event house and then represent that data on the dashboard, and then you can keep refresh the data, and then you can see the real-time the real-time update on it, and then and you can use the real-time intelligence not just to monitor data. You can also set a certain rule to take action on it. So, for example, if you monitor certain sensor data like temperature, so you can set a threshold on the temperature. Say, oh, if there is the temperature is higher than 30 degrees, then send me an email or send me a Teams message on it to notify me. So this is the what the rules help you to achieve, and also the rule also can trigger certain actions. Then you can set a certain threshold. Once the threshold is met, and then you can set up a trigger on an action, like trigger the notebook run or trigger the data pipeline run. So for this case, then with this capability, you can build an automatic data copy pipeline for you based on certain triggering on it. So all of them are represented in the real-time hub. You see the underground, not the underground, the last part in the bottom, it's called the real-time hub. It's a place that you can take action on all your stream data. You can see here, and then you can manage your streaming data there. You can manage your schema there, and also you can do the stream sharing and discovery on it. And of course, you can take action on it as well. So that's the overall for this real-time intelligence. Let's dive into the some details about the data ingestion part. So first is about real-time hub, like I said. So you can find and discover all the stream data in Fabric. we ship all the your stream data in this central place. You can find and take action on it. So like you can explore the data and generate a real-time dashboard through certain, you select certain stream data on it. And also from here, you can also bring the browse the existing Microsoft's resources, and then you will say, oh, I have some Microsoft resources and I have some data inside, and I want to also bring that Microsoft data into Fabric. Here, you can find that that part, and then you can select it and find, oh, this is, for example, this Azure Event Hub data. I have the data in my Event Hub. I want to bring it into Fabric. Then you can go that place and select the corresponding Event Hub. Then we will help you to just a few clicks. Then we'll help you to bring that data into Fabric. And of course, like I said, introduced in the previous slide, there's many out-of-box connectors to help you to bring your data out of Fabric into Fabric. So for example, like I said, if you have the component called Kafka, then we can help you to bring that data into Fabric as well, right? And the last part, it's about the Fabric events. Then we talk about more about the Fabric events. Basically, that it's called the notification events as well. And you can subscribe to the notification events, and then you get the data, and then you get the message, and then it can help you to do some alert or trigger on it. So this is where, how to say, this is kind of a gate, a door for you to access the stream data through the real-time hub. Now let's go to next part about the next part is about the event stream. So this is the one critical sense that help you to do the event ingestion, or we call it as well the real-time data ingestion. So it's built many out-of-box connectors to help you connect to many sources out of Fabric. So it's mainly focused on the streaming part, like streaming, and also it can bring the stream data from different kind of sources, like messaging broker or database CDC or certain discrete events there. So, for example, recently in a few weeks back, we at Fabric we announced a bunch of new connectors. For example, MQTT v5 broker. So if you have some MQTT messages in your MQTT v5 brokers, then this connector can help you to bring that data into Fabric. And also we collaborated with Solace team company, and we built a out-of-box connector to connect Solace PubSub broker. And then if you have the data in there, then we can also help you. As well, we have produced the weather feeds. So we connected certain weather real-time feeds and bring that data into Fabric in case you want to use the data to do some trial, or you want to bring it to monitor certain cities temperature or some weather data, then you can use this one. And as well as the Azure Data Explorer unify, meaning that if you have certain ADX table in Azure and you insert certain records into the table, and this connector can help you to bring that newly inserted records data into Fabric as well. The last one, it's called Azure Event Grid. So we help you to bring the data from Azure Event Grid namespace as well as the MQTT in the Event Grid as well. So if you have the Event Grid namespace topic and inside it you have some real-time data there, then this connector can help you to bring in that data into Fabric as well. So except this out-of-box connectors, we also provide the messaging broker from the event stream. When you create the, for example, when you create the event stream custom endpoint source or custom endpoint destination, we offer you the the message broker to so that you can publish or consume the events from this endpoint. So we support multiple protocols like Kafka protocols, MQP protocols, and as well as the HTTP protocols. If you already have certain application to publish or consume the data with those protocols, then you don't need to change your application much. You just change the pointer, meaning point your application to the event stream broker. Then you can the application can run it and push the data to event stream or consume the data from the event stream as well. So next exciting part is about connector, custom connectors. What it is, it's about like if we cannot find the connector in our event stream or in the real-time hub, and then you already have certain connector in your hand, then we offer a approach that you can upload your own connector and then run it in our infrastructure and help you to bring your data into Fabric. In this way, we can speed up your data onboarding and without waiting us to build this in our end. All right, next. So next. Yeah, so here we have a survey that, so because currently in a real-time hub, you cannot find the water source you want. So what if you cannot find them? Then here we'd like to hear your feedback and hear your source expectation. If you cannot find it, then just join this survey and share us your expected resource. Then we can plan it and take it in the backlog, and then we can help you to create that for you. All right. Okay. Next, please. So like I said, in the event stream, we will not only just ingest data into Fabric, but also we can provide the stream processing functionality there. So we literally provide the out-of-box low-code transformation operator there. You can do the query, you can do the filtering, you can do the group by or aggregation on it. So once that's defined, then you start the job in the backend. Then the data, when the data flows to your destination, then it can be processed. So we currently introduced the schema catalog integration, which is in private preview, and we will introduce a barcode for you to sign up for that. So this schema category integration will help you to predefine your data shape, and once that's defined and associated to the event stream, then you can use that predefined schema and then define your event processing logic inside the event stream. So with this definition, you can, it's not just define your schema shape, but also we will use it to validate your incoming data. So if your incoming data if your incoming data is not following the schema, then it will be rejected. So with this approach, it can provide the data governance on your stream data on it. So this originally provided this low-code editor for you, but in some cases, for some cases, the low-code operator may not suitable for certain environment. For example, if you have multiple conditions, then how can you do? You add a multiple filter on it, so it's not so friendly. And this is just one example. So we would like to introduce the no-code SQL stream processing, meaning that you can write your SQL query as well inside the event stream. Once the query is wrote, then you can publish it and take it in fact. So with this approach, then you can speed up your data processing authoring experience. And last one, it's about content-based routing for multiple destinations. As you can see from the screenshot, the one path can the data in one path can feed it to different destinations based on your what you want. So you can you can define which content goes to which destination based on your filtering or managed field, something like that. So currently we support the event house activator, lake house, and also some derived streams, meaning that you can reship your original data and flow that stream data into the derived stream. Then the derived stream can be shared across your company and then take it into use. So I think that's all for the Fabric real-time intelligence, mainly related data movement about the streaming part. What else? It's about the event-driven action on the Fabric events. So we talk about the stream data ingestion, event processing, and event routing. Now this is related to the Fabric events. So when there is something happen in the Fabric platform, then certain events will be emitted. So the Fabric events will collect all the or collect those events and using the PubSub engine inside. So for example, if you change create some new item in your workspace, then there will be events emitted from your workspace, and this PubSub engine will collect it, and then you can use certain item to subscribe to the events to do some triggering. For example, you can use an activator to subscribe the events, and once events reach to the activator, you can define certain rule on it, and then once the rule is criteria is met, then you can trigger certain action on it. Like I said, you can trigger the notebook job running, or you can trigger data integration. How to say what it is? It's pipeline, right? Pipeline job copy on it as well. So with this kind of Fabric events produced, and then it can help you to create the the pipeline automation on it, and help you to achieve certain scenarios on it. So Lex is very important since we are going to build, which called custom business events. What that means? It means like if you have certain message or certain streaming data. For example, you have your own luggage tracking system. If your luggage is missing, and then there will be some stream data inside your luggage system. Then how this kind of a message can be converted into a event, so that you can subscribe to the events to help you to track it. Then this is the features that we are going to build to help you to achieve this purpose. So stay tuned. Once this private preview is open, then we will share the sign up link, and you can sign up to try it. All right, then I think that's all from the stream part. So back to Rampath for this session.
Yeah, thank you. So I believe now you have already got a lot of sense on what's the best way for you to move your data in Fabric, right? So this slide is just to give you a quick summary about what we have discussed today. So if you want to land data into Fabric, and the easiest way is to show the multi-cloud shortcut and mirror database. So if you want to copy data in batch from any source to any destination, and want more premium function to define how to move your data, how to map your data, and read, write, etc., go to copy job. So of course, for the real-time data, as she just mentioned, if you need data immediately with an event into a Fabric, OneLake, you should go to the event stream, right? Additionally, if you want to do an ETL data transformation, Dataflow Gen 2 is the tool for you to use. And the last, if you want to orchestrate your data movement, then and data transformation and other together to make the end-to-end data integration works, then you should go to the pipeline. So next slide. So no matter which approach you choose in your scenario, all these kind of roads lead to the OneLake. So next slide is just to close the session for today, right? If you have not ever tried Microsoft Fabric, please go ahead to try. And we have offered, very generous, 60-day free trial for you. So please try it out. And if you have not done so, and the next slide, as mentioned by Linda, right, we have many capability for within database mirroring in private preview now. So please go ahead to scan the QR code to sign up and have a try. And a similar page for the next slide is a private preview feature for data factory and the real-time intelligence, as she just mentioned. All those exciting capabilities are in private preview for you to use. Okay, so I think we are done here. So in the last slide, I just want to thank you for all for joining and listening to this session today. So hope this session gonna give you a better clarity about how to choose the right approach for moving data in Microsoft Fabric. And thank you again for your time. And we're looking forward to see you in our future data factory session at Microsoft Reactor. And this is the end of the session today. And have a good rest of the day.